right, here we go. Here we go. Welcome to finally to another TANZŌ Hasami podcast episode. I am your host, Sunny D. I am also the founder, artistic director, and podcaster, apparently, of the TANZŌ brand. Super excited to be back. A couple things I wanted to share with you today is we're going to talk a little bit about education, where things are at. We're going to talk some about some of the new products. You're going to get a insider's kind of look, a sneak peek, you heard it here first about some of the stuff that's in the works, in the engine that is TANZŌ Hasami. So if this is your first time joining the podcast, welcome. If you've listened to a few of the episodes, we only have a few episodes. This is a baby pod. This is the baby pod. It's just getting going, just getting busy with it. But TANZŌ Hasami is a premium scissor brand, and it's really also, I think, it's a lifestyle brand. So premium scissors is where we started, where we will stop, and nobody knows. We've already expanded from scissors. We've gotten into the razors when we launched our electroplated Series 1. You see some of these guys chilling in the back. We got rosy gold. We got onyx black. We got the platinum plus. And also we have a gold, a yellow gold that's not present. Some of the other products that we have are some of our space aluminum combs, which everybody loves. We can't even keep these things in stock. They just go and go and go, and they disappear. Got a rosy gold and got a gold. We got a platinum. We got an onyx black as well, so you can kind of mix and match. The nice thing about these being space aluminum, lightweight, heat resistant, and they look pretty badass. So that's some of our products. I'm going to talk about some new stuff, some new news that we got coming out. Sneak peeking, letting you behind the curtain. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but just want to kind of get into it. Been away from the mic for a minute, so I'm excited to be back on the mic, be back up in the studio. Been working on the look. Hope you guys like it. Working on the studio, working a lot. Shows. Talk a little bit about shows. Why does this company even exist? That's what I want to know. So lifestyle, when you think about a lifestyle, whether it be, my throat's been a little dry. I've been drinking water, so excuse me for clearing my throat. I'll try to do it to the side from now on. But if you think about a lifestyle brand, if you've been on our website at tanzahasami.com, you've seen, everything from scissors, combs, razors, razor blades. You've also seen merchandise. You've seen hats, shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, travel packs, duffel bags, all kinds of different stuff that you can really kind of envelop yourself in the lifestyle and have a lot of fun with that. Hopefully you guys will enjoy. We've got some new products coming out in the TANZŌ Hasami linen line, as I like to call it, the linens and other things that we're doing. So if you're using one of our scissors, you're using multiple pairs of our scissors, I just want to thank you guys for being a supporter. This company was really kind of born out of a necessity. So when I do a project, a salon, a scissor company, or whatever I do next, it's not going to be because I've done a lot market research, or I've done a lot of investigations about this particular sector or product or industry. That's not really it. It's usually going to come from this place. Well, not usually. I wouldn't say usually. Shit. It's always coming from this place. I've got an issue. I've got a thorn in my side. I've got a problem, something that's bothering me about a product that I currently have or am using or will need to use, and I'm just not seeing a great solution to it. When I started the Salon 1.0, it was in my opinion, all the salons that were in existence at that time, there was very few for graduates coming into the industry to really go to and have an opportunity and a platform to not just survive, but thrive. And I didn't see it. In my opinion, most of them were shit salons and didn't really have a real system behind them, a rhyme or a reason why they were doing this or that. And so with that being the case, I said, you know what? I mean, anything else got to be better than what I'm hearing. And, you know, I got an opportunity to work in a great salon and work there until I didn't. And when I didn't, that's when I started my own company. But it's like there had to be something better. There had to be another solution, something more geared towards the next and the new generation that was graduating. So that's kind of how that started. And how the scissors came to be, or if you like to call them shears. Some people get, you know, they call them shears, and some people I call them scissors. I call them shears sometimes too. But a lot of times I call them scissors. And a lot of times they do the same exact damn thing that a shear or will do. And people like get hung up on that terminology. I'm not so hung up on that terminology. I'm more hung up on the functionality, the quality, the ability of the tool to perform at the highest level. And for years, probably like 1, 2, count them up, 15 of them, I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't happy. I was kind of just dealing with the shit that existed. But again, had that thought in my head, in my mind, in my heart. I knew there's got to be a better way. There's got to be another way, a better way, a more efficient way, a more effective way to create. And when we got hit with that little, you know, Corona, when the Corona came through, I had nothing but, you know, time. I really didn't have time because I was, I think, busier during our couple of months of all the businesses being closed down than ever. But I said I had time, but I had more time in the sense of going to my book of ideas, going to my bank of ideas, and thinking about things that I wanted to do, impacts that I wanted to be able to have and make on the industry. And one thing that had been sitting on there on that list for pushing 15 years was I wanted a better scissor, and I wanted something that was not only better quality, more of a better all-around experience. And so that's what I set out to create. So when we talk about premium, usually you think expensive. So that was kind of one of the things. I wanted to be able to have the highest quality at the best price. So premium quality without the premium price tag. So that's kind of an approach. And through trial and tribulations and learning, I learned a lot about metal. I learned a lot about a lot of things that I didn't really know. And when I was uncovering some of those things, one of the most interesting things was, so if you take we'll just say whatever the product might be, we'll call it a diamond. And you have different cuts of diamonds. And the prices might vary. But then you have something also in a diamond, we call it clarity, right? And the clarity could vary. But once you get to that premium level of a diamond and a clarity and a cut, beyond that, you know, the price could incrementally go up, but it's not going to change the overall effect. Like nobody's going to look at your finger and be like, damn, homie, you got a garbage ass rock. Like once you get to that premium level, unless you're like Jacob the jeweler, or you're in there with your glass on and you're really in it like that, there's not going to be much difference between that premium diamond versus the next premium diamond. Now, if you got a lowest level diamond and you put it next to a premium, there is definitely going to be a clear and concise difference. And that's what I discovered when I started looking into, you know, the metallurgy. So I started looking in to the different types of metal from, you know, like when you get to your stainless steel alloy, You start to build up, and then you get to a higher quality, which we call a premium, like a Japanese VG10, and you get to stuff like that, cobalt, when you get to like tungsten, when you get to those high qualities at that VG10 level and beyond, you're premium. But what was going on in our industry is somebody would throw in a little word or a phrase and then polish up their scissor, and then all of a sudden the price was supposed to be justifiably, 2 and 3 times some of the other scissors that were out there. So to me, that was not that wasn't really making a lot of sense. And so as I started to do that research, there's the Rockwell hardness content. I found out a lot about that, and I learned more than I had ever learned about just metal in itself and the process. The whole entire industry was kind of built on a few key words. People would hear something about steel, and they'd say, is it Japanese steel? And it could be Japanese steel, it could be Chinese steel, it could be Indian steel, it could be Pakistani steel, it could be American steel. But the important stuff, the quality, the Rockwell hardness content of like a VG10, versus a tungsten versus a cobalt, those are the things that need to be really looked at, because that's going to give you the durability, the sharpness of the blade. And once you hit that VG10, dog, your shit's going to be tight. So what that means for you as a hair cutter, you're going to get a longer, more durable blade, going to be able to cut through hair like a hot knife through butter. And that's really where that premium starts. But when you go from $400 to like $1,000, the difference in price and the difference in quality is not there, because the price goes up astronomically, but the quality after that premium level, it's just like that clarity. It's like slightly clearer. But is the quality, if I put that diamond next to the other diamond, we'll say one diamond's at clarity, on the scale of clarity, it's an 8. The next one on the scale of clarity is a 9. The one that's a 8 clarity is $8,000. The one that's 9 clarity, if we're playing the normal escalation, would be $9,000. But what people were doing, they were taking that clarity at 8,000, and then they put a little polish on it, bring it to a 9 clarity, and then all of a sudden that price would jump up to $20,000. Now that's what I call being ripped off, because there's not a damn, you can't tell unless you got the jeweler eye and you're really looking at it. You can't tell where's the justification in the pricing. And that was something that I dealt with. Spending $1,000 on a pair of scissors, spending $1,500 on a pair of scissors, spending $2,000 on a pair of scissors, and then really not really seeing any difference. Like, well, how did the price go up so much? Because we using maybe a fancy term and we got a little polish on it, but the quality hasn't tripled in value. So why does the price triple in value? And for a long time, I was struggling with that, and I didn't really know if there was anything I could do about it, but it bothered me. And that's where the problem came. It bothered me. It was a thorn in my side. It was sticking me forever. And so I set out to create that scissor that had a matching quality with a premium quality, and also had a matching price. So that's what I set out to create, and I really just wanted to make a scissor for myself. So that's kind of our first, the baby Air. It's a 6-inch scissor, and it can do wet, dry, point, scissor over comb, straight line, graduation layers. It can pretty much do it all, because I was only going to make one and be done, and I'll make it for myself. And then when I made that one and I got it in the hands of other people, I started getting grilled, like, what's up? What's the deal? And I would put it in, especially it was like fun putting it in people's hands that had a pair that they thought was premium, or maybe it was, and they thought would blow these out of the water And then they actually preferred these to the other ones. And the other ones would be like $1,500, $1,400, $1,800. And then I said, well, these are what I'm cutting with now, and these are $600. They're like, how the hell can that be? I'm like, it always was. We just never challenged it, and we never talked about it, and we never really looked into it until now. And that's what I did. And so that's kind of a little bit of the origin story. And I like sharing that with people because there's a way. There's always a way. And you just have to be willing to take a chance, be willing to try something. And there was a lot of testing involved. There still is, because every product has to pass through me first as a hair cutter. And I found out a lot of the companies that were out there, that are still out there, the person that, runs the biz, the person that created the biz or started the biz, a lot of them never even have done a haircut before. Not a one haircut, but they're out here talking about selling us, hairstylists, hair cutters, their product that's supposed to be so great, that costs so much, but they've never done one damn haircut, dog. Are you serious? So that was a big problem for me. And I'm sure a lot of you, especially if you're a subscriber, you know the pain. If you're not, you may be hearing about this and being thinking, yeah, no shit, I just paid all this money and I don't have what I want. And you didn't maybe have other options. And that's where TANZŌ comes in. We give you options. And I'm not talking about, here's the deal, I'm not talking about options like a million different SKUs so you're confused. It's called confused SKUs, confused by SKUs, where there's so many different models. And no, because I wanted to make that one pair and then making a slightly smaller, 5.5 inch, having a 6 inch, and then making a 7 inch, and then having a texturizer. That's a complete set. That's 4 blades, that's 4 different pairs. That's a complete set. You got everything that you would need to be able to do everything, indeed. And so I'm not coming out with, here's a, 4th of July, there's a red, white, and blue. Like if I came out with a red, white, and blue coated scissor, be a little bit like, okay, it's the 4th of July. Is that a gimmick? Is there quality? Am I going to now, because it's that, am I going to charge you different? No, I'd be doing it maybe as a one-off. I give you one. I don't know. But there are different companies, right? They may come out with everything. Oh, I want one that, only trims eyebrow hair. I want one that's good on pubic hair. I want one that's good on it's got a thumb that swivels left and a finger that swivels. Like, come on, dog. You know how long the hair cutting game been in business? And you're talking about the samurais when they were making their swords, and then they got banned. You can't have long hair, and then they're like, all right, well, the people that are honing the swords are now honing scissors. We're talking thousands of years ago. You think that they had a red, white, and blue blade? You think they had a swivel? I'm not knocking you if you use it. Some people do. But I'd rather take you through a little education on your ergonomics and how you're holding your scissor correctly. You're not putting your thumb, sinking it all the way through the hole, and that's going to cause you to bend your wrist, which means if you got a swivel thumb, then it doesn't cause you to ever learn the proper mechanics of the scissor. It kind of gives you a cheat code, and some people like that. I'd rather take you through the education and show you different ways you can hold your scissor where we're not doing that. So I don't have interest in being a Me Too company or creating products that, just somebody said like, oh, I want one that does this because the hair on my chest is it's coarser than the hair on my ass. And so I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested. Not saying that now that, the lineup has been created, the complete set, which is that 5.5, that 6, and that 7, and the texturizer. And then we've got, the Maverick line, which are geared towards a lot of our barbers, more barber-esque with some quarter sizes. These Really two sizes that they come in right now. You've got a 6.75, which is the long one, and then you've got a 5.75, which is the shorter one. A little different design on the blade and the handles. I'm not saying it will never come out with another scissor, but if you have these, you really do have a a dangerous ass lineup that no matter if you're cutting men, women, short, long, you pretty much got it all covered. And we drop that texturizer that we drop with 10 teeth if you need to do more bulk removal and create, a lot more of a texture in the hair. That's a variation. It does give you a different result, and it's not to go into, well, we're just creating this to create. I'm not creating a scissor just to create a scissor. I'm creating a tool that I know there's going to be a strong application, because I'm using it, right? And I'm seeing the benefits of that application. So that's kind of the mindset behind it. But we're having fun doing it and creating products. The razors, for the barber community out there, the razors are designed with the aesthetic is not only they look good, but the quick change, the easy in and out of the disposable blades that you can have and not have to worry about, when you're changing the blade, worrying about a whole bunch of mechanical stuff. So having that ability to do that with a razor when it's a simple pinch. I was showing people, so we've been on the road a little bit, and then I was showing some people doing a demo on a blade change, and like, oh, it's that easy to just squeeze, it drops out, you drop another one in, and you're on. If you're busy, right, you ain't got time to be, dicking around with all kinds of mechanics. So that's one of the things that I really love about the premium razor, the electroplated series 1. And you can, and so the aesthetic part of that is, having those options of like rose gold, having platinum, having onyx, so you can, some people like to match their comb to their razor to their whatever. So you have that, but first is functionality first. And that's what our design process is. Functionality, right? Form. You have to think about those things first, because I can color it any different color you want, but if it doesn't work worth a shit, then it doesn't matter what color it is. It's not going to be your go-to. And that's what I want people to think about when they look at their lineup and they've got all these different options in their scissors, but their razors, I want them to be like, my go-to are my TANZŌ Hasamis. That's my go-to. That's what I'm going to do. It's because it's my go-to. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where have I been? So it's been a minute. We've been on the road. Did a premiere show in California, Anaheim. It's where they have Disney. Disney's over there. And didn't go to Disney, but did go to Target. Now, here's the deal. If you don't have time to go to Disney and you're in Anaheim, you could go to Target. Now, I know some of you are thinking like, what? Target? Because in Target, they got a damn Disney section that's like it's like the gift store at Disney, or like a Disney store. You feel like it's got like a Mickey Mouse arch, and you walk up in that bitch like you feel like you're in the Disney, at least part of the park, at least part of the theme park. So that was kind of funny. I was in there and I was like, damn, they're Disneyed out. And I remembered, oh, that's right, because Disney is in the same city. It's right down the road. So did go to Target, but was busy at the hair show. If you guys were in Anaheim at the premiere hair show there, it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people, got a lot of good exposure, and got a lot of opportunity to really let people see our product. Now, being the new kids on the block, or whatever you want to call it, we're small. So I didn't have a booth, like a huge ass booth with all kinds of music and stages and people doing backflips and swallowing swords and fucking spitting fire. I didn't have all that, right? So I got my booth. I'm there. I got my products. They're there. And I got my passion. It's always there. and I got to meet a lot of cool people from all over, from not only California, people come from all over the country. And so that's been fun. Been into some of the schools. If you're in, cosmetology school or barber school and would like, me to come in and do a demonstration, go over some of the products and let you get your hands on them. That's something I'm always about. So I got to do that a couple times here recently in a couple of the Paul Mitchell schools, and going into salons, of course, or barbershops, of course, being able to let you play with some of the tools, use them, try them. And so I'm all about that. You can always reach out to me. Just hit me up, probably on Instagram, if you want to invite me to come in and show you the product. So that's kind of where I've been at, and I'm lining up some other stuff. One of the things I wanted to touch on is a couple new product ideas that I do have, because I want to create. I'm a creator, right? I want to create, but I was thinking, like, what am I missing, right? And so I'm missing right now in my kit a premium scissor, got it, check. Premium razor, got it, check. My clipper game could use some work, right? So my clipper game, especially my clipper cordless game, could use some work. My clipper quality cordless game could use some work. So that's something in the works. You've heard it here first. Working on a premium clipper and a trimmer. If you want to call them a trimmer, you want to call them an edger, you want to call them a lineup tool, that will be at that level, that performance level, that would help complete the kit. So working on that. So stay tuned. If you want to know when it drops and how to get your hands on it, then you definitely need to get into our text community. And so I'm going to tell you how to get into that, because it's a small group of people that when products are being released, they're going to get that text right to their phone first. They're going to be the first ones to know when there's a sale, there's a class, there's an event, there's a show, there's a new product dropping. That's where you're going to want to be. So if you want to be a part of that community at the front of the line, instead of waiting to hear about it on Instagram or somewhere else, all you have to do is to this number. The number is 813, because we're representing that Tampa zip, 813-592-1514. So you can text the word TANZŌ, that's TANZO, and you can text that word to that number, 813-592-1514, and you'll get a reply, you'll get a text back, and that'll welcome you to the community. And that's where you're going to be able to discover and be at the front of the line when new products are launched. So make sure you get up in there, get up on that text community. And of course, you can tune in Instagram. Instagram content will be coming out on there, but those are the kind of the front of the line, maybe the VIP section. Like if you're at a concert and the music is going on, do you hear it before the back of the room? If you're in the VIP, I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, if you're at a game though, like the way they work at the football games, you get those suites, those boxes, they're supposed to be VIP, but I feel like, I feel like they got food and drinks, but I just feel like you're so far away from the game. You're like not even close. Like I think more VIP is like you're in front, like your front row. I think that's more VIP than that. I mean, I guess there's other amenities, or there's other things that they're offering, but if you're telling me I'm VIP, I want to be like so close at the fight that, when old boy gets knocked out, you're just like, damn dog, here's your mouthpiece. Like, he's laying right there at your feet. That's what I think. And so with that, we got to talk about the VIP section at all the arenas, because I want the box, like put a box, like I want to be like sitting on like the bench. Like if I'm thinking about VIP, I'm thinking about me sitting on the bench right next to, like, Steph Curry. Like, what's up, dog? You just missed the shit out of that shot. Like, I want to be like right there. So I don't know. But our VIP is, you're going to find out about it first. You're going to hear about it first. You're going to see the products first. So that's one thing. The other thing that's in the works, which I think is going to be really cool, and it's something I was struggling with, is a premium quality, like a scissor case. So when you think about, you're traveling, you're going to the salon, you're going home, you're going on vacation, you're going left, you're going right, what are you putting your tools in? I've got one right now that holds too many. It's a good for display, but that bitch is like a briefcase size. It's just like, it's too much. And so I've been thinking about that. I want to design something that has that premium quality, that's also going to be safe for travel, that's also going to support not only your scissors, but certain other items you may need in there, your razor, your comb, your clips. And it's just designed in a way where you can have a complete set, but you don't have to have like this big ass like case. So that's another thing I'm working on. So those are a couple products to be on the lookout for. You'll find out about them first if you're part of that text community. And last couple of things, just want to update you guys on what's going on with education. So the education side of the company, as an educator, it means a lot to me, and I want to make sure that it doesn't lack in the premium level that we're delivering as far as the education that we can, that you guys can receive. So classes, I'm slowly booking up classes. I'm also accepting applications for educators, people that are passionate about haircutting, people that are also haircutting nerds that want to teach on behalf of the company, want to represent the products, represent the brand in the greatest light. So I'm taking on those applications. But one of the things that's been floating around in the back of my head, and it's something that I've been really looking forward to putting together, is something that's called HOH. So it's called House of Hasami. So what this is, I'm going to give you kind of a brief, overview. What it looks like is a 2-day educational event hosted in a cool city in a cool house. Now that house may be an actual house, it may be someone's house, like a salon house. It may be in a fashion house. It could be in a damn firehouse, but it's going to be in a house that's going to be for that 2 days converted into a haircutting, educational, networking, business opportunity, hangout space. And we're going to launch that. I'm going to announce a city here soon. The first one that will be coming in 2024. So excited about that. Can't wait. And here's the coolest part about it. So these are intimate sessions, meaning there's not going to be like when you go to a hair show, there's 1,000 damn people running around crazy, where you can't really, you can't hear, you can't like take your notes right, you can't even get your damn, your fucking your mannequin set up. You can't do. It's just too much. And so then they try to do those breakout classrooms, and you got hundreds of people in there. So these, we're talking, have a definite number, but we're talking like 100 people or less. So they're going to be intimate. There's going to be hands-on. There's going to be business building. There's going to be networking. There's going to be some, little fiesta going on, a little party going on. But you're going to get 2 days. It's going to be action-packed. And then the coolest part, that's not even the coolest part. Having it being small is cool. That is a cool part, but that's not even the cool. The coolest part is if you're a subscriber, say you got one pair of our scissors in your subscription. So you're paying, if it's $50 a month, you're paying for 12 months. You're paying. And now the House of Hasami date comes out. And you as a subscriber are like, damn, that looks tight. They're going to be in, we'll just say Las Vegas. I'm not saying that's where the first one's going to be, but we're going to say Las Vegas. So you're like, damn, that's tight. How much is it? How much is the ticket? Well, here's the deal. If you're a subscriber to TANZŌhasami.com, you have an active subscription going on. That's going to be also included in your subscription. So your active subscription is your ticket to the event. Now that means you got to fly, you got to, figure out other your accommodations, but the actual 2 days of education, the event itself, is included with any active subscription. So that's what I think is one of the coolest things about it. So when you got those scissors and you're like, I'm going to get these, or I'm going to get those, or I'm going to get this whole setup, and you've been paying and you're like thinking that's all you're getting, that's not all you're getting. Same thing when we move into the online library, you'll get access to that as well. So those things that are included beyond the free sharpening, beyond, the servicing, beyond that stuff, these other things that are included are going to be, I think, what really kind of develops our community and sets us up and sets us apart from a lot of others. And so we want you to be a part of that community, full life. Faux, spell F-O, life, L-I-F-E. So be on the lookout for that. The first, hopefully it'll be an annual thing. Maybe it'll be more than one time a year. But the first HOH, House of Hasami. So that's exciting. And other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions and comments, you can jump in. The pod is on all the platforms. Share this with somebody who may not have any exposure to myself or the company. I'll let people know about it. So it's word of mouth. We don't have any big backings where we're doing all kinds of advertisements and stuff like that. It's just kind of like sweat equity, putting in the time, putting in the work. Sharing our stuff on social media helps a lot. Sharing it, just letting somebody hold your scissors and letting them cut some hair with them helps us a lot. And then as we start to get into doing more of the hair show world, I mean, that's a different animal. It's something I've done for Paul Mitchell forever, but doing it on behalf of myself and my own company, it's definitely a little bit different. I'm learning a lot about it, and I'm also learning how effective it can be, and so there will be more shows. The Premier Group, they're a great group that I've been working with, so I would like to work with them some more. I know some people talked about the IBS shows. There's like Vegas, and there's New York. There's Vegas. There's I think one in the summertime. New York, I believe, is in the fall. There's also the show in Chicago. So definitely want to hit some of the major shows, just a minor player in a major world. So be on the lookout. And I try to put that out on social media at TANZŌ Hasami. So you can see like if there's a show coming up or a gig coming up, I'll put that out on there. And I'll also share that on the podcast. So that's pretty much what I wanted to chat with you guys about on this episode of the TANZŌ Hasami podcast. And for all things and other products, and go on to our website. It's tanzhasami.com, and you can browse, you can check out the merch, you can check out the tools. And if you're in that text community, them damn tools are coming to check you out. So thanks for tuning in. Be back next week with another episode. Make sure you share this with your friends, and let's get everybody into a premium scissor without that premium price tag. Let's take care of our fellow stylists, our barbers, and our entire community. So that's what I got today, guys. Sunny D here. Thanks for tuning in to the TANZŌ Hasami podcast, and I will talk to you soon.